Hello and welcome to this last couple of videos about creating your track. We've come a long way. So in the first video or two, we made the drums. Here we have 4 different levels of drums for my A section and 2 different levels of dynamics for drums for my B section. Then we added chord parts here in yellow. After we added chords, we added some bass lines, which are in this aqua color. After we added some bass lines, we added some melodies, and you can see I've got lots of different melodic ideas. And we're now finally at stage 5, where we're going to take all the ideas and put them together. Here's my completed track, and I will play the whole track at the end of the video. But just for now, you can see that I've got different sections of the song, an intro. My A and my B sections, I'm thinking of as verse. A is a verse and B is a chorus. So I'm naturally expecting my B sections to be more exciting and with a busier and higher energy level than my A sections, than my verses. So you can see I've got a 4-bar intro, A section, B section, A section, B section, a breakdown, and then my final A section before the outro. And today, what I'm going to do is show you how to get there from here, because this is what we have until now, is just a bunch of loops. So with that in mind, I'm going to delete all this and show you how I created it. I'm not going to create it exactly the same because every time I do it, it might come out different, but I'm just going to show you the basic idea. First of all, I'm going to delete all the loops. And now I'll delete all this and I'll show you how I got to all this. Okay, here we go. So to make this arrangement track appear, I went to the track menu, and yours will say here, show arrangement track, and it'll make this appear. If you haven't got an arrangement track, the first time you press this plus button, it will add a new arrangement section. Arrangement refers to the structure of the track, the order of the different sections. Usually a track is made up of different sections including, or a song, intros, verse, chorus, bridge, and outro. There are other sections too, such as breakdowns, solos, the drop, post-chorus, all sorts of things, and of course you can rename them. So what I've done already is I added a section. The first one that shows up is always going to be the intro, and I relabeled it pre-track, because this is everything I've done till now. Let's have a look what's in there. This is my A section. Drums, chords, bass, melodies. It's an 8-bar loop in my case. The chords are the same, but I've got the melody that goes with it. So that's my A section, and my B section is a different chord progression with different drums, some different chords, different melodies, and so on. This is what it sounds like, and I'm thinking of this as my chorus. I've called this area pre-track, but I'm basically thinking of this as my pantry, my treasure chest, where I'm keeping all my things that I have, and then I'm going to use these elements to create my song. So previously for homework, I created a graph of what I want my song to look like, which you can see on the screen now. You can see I've got 2 parts to my intro. The whole intro will go for 4 bars. The first part's going to be really low level, about a 2, and then for the second half it's going to go up to a 3, so still pretty low. Then I'll come into my A section, which will go for 8 bars, and it'll go for a 4, then a 5. My B section, my chorus, if you will jump up to an 8 in terms of dynamics, 8 out of 10. Go back to my next A section, another 8 bars, 5, then a 6. Then my next chorus, my B2 section will be an 8 or a 9. Then I'll have the breakdown for only 4 bars, which will go right down to a 1 or 2, and then to my A3, my sort of finale, if you will, which will really take it up to an 8 or a 9 or a 10, and then an outro. And you can see that in most cases, my sections are 8 bars long, which is really common for music. Okay, here's how the whole thing works. I'm going to hit plus here to create a new section. And you can see the first thing that comes up is chorus. That's because, I don't know, whatever I had before, but I want this to be my intro, so I'll just turn that into an intro. And you can see straight away it's an 8-bar section it's created, because the people who made Garageband know as well as you and I do that sections are often 8 bars long. But in my case, I want this to be 4 bars long, so you can see I just grab it there and I shorten it. Okay, so here's where we get down to business. I'm going to create an intro for my song that's going to be a level 2 or a level 3. A good place to start with this would be my level 1 drum. So what I'm going to do is Command C, hit that to copy, move the playhead over to here, and do Command V. I'm not sure why it pastes it like that, but what I really want to do is just have it 2 bars, and then I'm going to make another copy. This time I'm going to use the Option key just to copy it here. And I think what I want to do, and what I've encouraged some of you to do in class, is make an A0, where what I'm going to do is actually, for this first one, is actually delete the hi-hats. So it's really low key. Shift N will rename it. I'll call it A0. And now already for my intro, I've got this. First 2 bars. And adding those hi-hats there is going to help lift the dynamic slightly. So for my intro, I'm thinking drums, would bass be good? Or maybe I'll save the bass till the verse starts and just have some instruments. So I'm thinking, do I want to try this one? Let's see how that's going to sound. That could be cool. What about this one? That might work. Could you try this one? That's the one I used on the last time. So, I'm going to do Command C, or I'll just use the Option key, Option and drag, and I'll put that over there. And here's my intro, I think. I think I'm there with a level 2 for the first 2 bars and a level 3 for the second 2 bars. That's what I want. By the way, you can hear that I've got some delay on the flute. Here's how to access the delay. Hit B, and I've got an echo unit on there, and I've also got a pedal board on there with some delay as well. So I've added effects, because without the effects, let me turn off these effects, it sounds just sort of more boring. Compare that to this. Not sure why the volume jumped up there. Let me just get that sorted out. Oops. And now I'm ready to add my new section. So once again, I go up here, hit the plus, and now it says verse. I'm going to call it A1 because that's what it is on my chart here. A1. And for my A1, it's an 8-bar section, and the first 4 bars I want to be a level 4, and then the next 4 bars are level 5. So maybe what I'll do is I'll continue A1 drums here. I'll just use the Option key and copy that over. Whoops. And extend it for 4 bars. And then maybe for the next part, I'll go A2. So again, I'll grab that Option key, grab that over, and extend it out. It's time to bring in, I'll keep what I've got going. So I'll stretch that out here. It's time to bring in some bass. So here's my A section bass. Again, I'll use the Option key to copy it over, starting there. And remember, by the way, I'm going to add transitions to my sections in the next video. I might add one more layer of chords. Let's see what this one will sound like. Let's try that, starting here. So I'll go back to the intro, level 2. Level 3. I'm hoping for level 4 here. What do you think? Not quite there. I want to add one more thing, I think. Level 5. Let's see if it does does it? The drums. It's pretty cool, actually. Okay, so what I'm thinking is I might start to introduce my melody here as well. And I've made a melody here. And as you can hear, I've got it on 2 instruments. There's a pipa with lots of effects on it. And there's a super saw lead. That's more for support. So I think what I'm going to do is add the pipa, but instead of having the whole melody come on straight away, I'm just going to use little bits of it. So what I'm thinking is just maybe 1 bar. And so if I click on that, make sure it's lit up, Command T, cut out a bar, cut out a bar. I'm just going to play every other bar of this melody, and let's see how that sounds. So delete that one, delete that one, delete that one, delete that one, and I'll delete that. Here we go. Let's see what we've got. Here's our intro, the last 2 bars. So that should be level 3. Is this level 4? It's pretty cool. Instead of that melody, I'm going to put this one in again. It's just like a little tease of the melody. And then we're going to go to our B section, our first chorus. So I'll just hit plus here. It calls it a chorus, but again, I could leave it like that. I just want to call it my B1. And now, according to my chart, I want to jump up to an 8. So let's see. First of all, I think my B section drums, I've already got a lot more energy. So let's drag those, again, using the Option key. I'll just drag those over, stretch that out more. Remember, I'm not doing any drum fills or transitions here. I'll save that for the next video. To really take it up, let's see what these 3 things sound like for the B section with drums. I think I'm going to get all of them. So I'll grab all of these, use the Option key to drag it over. There it is. And a bass. I've got a few different basses here. I'll just put my drums on so we can hear it in context. Here's one bass. Let's try this one. Yeah, that's the one I want. So again, I will grab the one called Dark Heavy Bass and use the Option key or Command C to drag, whoops, I'll use Command C this time. Command C, drag, Command C, Command V, and now I should have, oh, I need a melody for that. So let's just get one of my instruments. Again, I don't want to come out with everything playing. Not that one yet, that can be more for backup. What about this one? Nope, maybe the pipa? I'll get both of those this time. So, here we go. These 2, Command C, paste it over. And now what I'm hoping for is about a level 8. Let's see. It's getting there. I'm going to try adding my percussion as well. Let's see how that sounds when I add that here. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So I'll stretch that out. And later, as I said, I'll add a transition. And now I'm going to A2, hit the plus button. It says bridge, but I'll just rename that to A2. And I want my A2, it can be similar to my A1, so I can still have all these things, the flute, the marimba, the bass. I'll just get those now. Flute, marimba, and bass, Command C, and paste those right in there. This time, because I'm going for something a bit higher than last time, instead of using A2, I might use A3. So Command C, click up there. Here it goes. And I'll stretch those out. I also can get the rest, some more of my instruments in there. So let's get these in there too. Command C and Command V. There we go. And this time, instead of just teasing a little bit of the melody, let's get 3 bits of melody going on in there. And so now, basically, look, in short, what I'm doing is I'm looking at my graph and I'm using the parts to create the rest of my song. In the next video, I will add effects and transitions to build it out all the way. I'm not going to finish out the rest of the song now on video, but you can watch now what the whole song sounds like with the ideas in mind of following the graph to create the different levels of dynamics. So here is the complete track, complete with full structure and transitions, effects, and everything.